Have you ever felt completely stuck? You know, you're working on something and this wave of anxiety just washes over you, that what you're making just isn't good enough. Well, it turns out that feeling has almost nothing to do with your actual talent, and everything to do with how your mind is wired.
Okay, so let's just dive right into one of the biggest creativity killers there is, the anxiety of imperfection. This quote, it just nails it, doesn't it? We're all chasing this thing called perfection, but it's not even a real fixed target. It's kind of like a ghost.
I mean, think about it. What you think is perfect today, you might look at tomorrow and want to change. Heck, what I see as perfect is totally different from what you see as perfect. So if it's this slippery, constantly changing idea, why on earth do we let it cause us so much stress and completely block our creative flow? Let's unpack how we can change that perspective entirely.
So here's our roadmap. We're going to start by really looking at this perfection trap, and then we're going to totally redefine what failure even means. From there, we'll get into the mind's sneaky tricks and the huge idea that you are not your mind. Then we'll rebuild our definition of success, and finally, figure out how to live with fear and create amazing things anyway.
All right, first section. Let's get right to the heart of what fuels all that perfectionism, the fear of failure. You know, most of us see failure as this horrible final destination, something we have to avoid at all costs. But what if that whole viewpoint is exactly what's holding us back?
Just look at this shift. It's a total makeover. On the left, you've got the old, heavy view of failure. It's a stigma, a dead end. But look at the right. Failure becomes an opportunity. It becomes a first attempt in learning. Get it? FAIL? It's not a judgment on who you are. It's just data. It's a necessary ingredient for getting better. And the best part? We get to choose which one of these columns we want to live in.
This is such a perfect way to put it. The greatest athletes, the most innovative scientists, the most brilliant artists, they all have a massive laundry list of failures. They missed thousands of shots, their experiments blew up, their early drafts were terrible, but they didn't see any of that as a reason to quit. They saw it as the price of admission. It was just part of the process of becoming great.
Okay, but if failure is so useful, why does it feel so gut-wrenchingly awful? Why does our body react like it's a genuine threat? Well, to understand that, we've got to look at what our mind's primary job really is. And spoiler alert, it's probably not what you think.
And here it is. This is absolutely crucial. Your mind is an ancient survival machine. Its number one prime directive is to keep you safe. Not happy, not fulfilled, not creative, safe. And honestly, it gets confused. It treats modern, non-physical threats, like the fear of being judged for a project you're working on, with the same life-or-death intensity as an actual physical threat, like a tiger.
This is what we call the paper tiger effect. So you're about to share your work and you feel that knot in your stomach, your heart starts racing. That's the paper tiger. Your mind sees the idea of social judgment and hits the big red panic button. It floods your body with stress hormones like cortisol, which literally stop your brain cells from connecting freely. All those amazing creative and problem-solving parts of your brain, they get shut down. Your mind thinks they're a luxury because it needs all hands on deck to fight a tiger that's made of paper.
Okay, so this brings us to what might be the most powerful turning point in this whole journey. If our mind is just running this old, buggy survival software, how do we get out of it? Well, it all starts by realizing the life-changing difference between being your mind and observing it.
Now, I want you to pay really close attention to the shift in language here. It seems small, but trust me, this little tweak is where you take all your power back.
This is a massive distinction. When you say, I am a failure, it's a done deal. You've fused your entire identity with a temporary feeling. There's no wiggle room. But when you shift to, I am observing a feeling of failure, you create space. You're not the feeling. You're the one watching the feeling. The feeling is just some weather passing through. And in that little bit of space, that's where your freedom and your choice live.
This right here, this single idea, it's the key that unlocks everything. You are not that panicked, chattering voice in your head. You are the calm, quiet awareness that's listening to it. And once you start identifying as the observer, you can see the mind doing its little tricks without getting swept up in the drama. You can just go, oh, look at that. There goes my mind again, trying to protect me from that paper tiger. How sweet.
So if we can learn to just observe our thoughts about failure, we can also completely rewrite our definition of success, right? If failure is really just learning, then what does success become? It's probably not what you've been taught to believe.
See, success doesn't have to be some external trophy or getting a bunch of likes.
It can be an internal experience. Having the courage to feel something new, even if it's uncomfortable, that's a success. Making a conscious decision to learn from something and work on yourself, that is a success. It's about an internal awakening, not some external achievement.
And that's really the bottom line. Success becomes this incredible journey of who you are becoming in the process, not a destination of what you are achieving at the end. And that makes success available to every single one of us, every single day, in any moment we choose growth over fear.
So finally, now that we're armed with all this new perspective, how do we actually handle fear when it shows up? Because, let's be real, it is going to show up. The goal isn't to be fearless, it's to learn how to act even when fear is there.
This analogy is just perfect. Think about it. You try to fight your fear, to suppress it, to push it down, and it takes all your energy just to hold it under the surface, right? You can't focus on anything else. And the second you get distracted, whoosh, it shoots right back up, usually with even more force than before. What you resist persists.
So the goal isn't to somehow defeat fear. It's to understand its true nature, to see it for what it is, your mind's clumsy but well-intentioned attempt to protect you. You can listen to it, acknowledge its concerns, and then choose to act from a different place. A place of love, a place of curiosity, a place of inspiration for the thing you want to create.
And this last question is really your compass moving forward. The next time that fear shows up, just acknowledge it. Say, hey, I see you. Thanks for trying to keep me safe. And then gently turn your focus back to the love of what you're doing, the excitement of the idea, and just take one small step. Just imagine what amazing things are waiting for you on the other side of that choice.